who may have been infected by the virus. For more, we're joined by Stella Magazine's Sarrah Le Marquand. Sarah, good morning to you.
Good morning.
And Senator Malarndirri McCarthy. Senator, good morning to you. Lovely to see you both.
Good morning. Morning, Carl.
OK, Senator, Christmas Island's in your neck of the woods, in your electorate. Are you happy with the outcome, with those people potentially going to the island?
Look, Carl, certainly the residents on Christmas Island, and yes, they do come under the electorate of Lingiari here in the Northern Territory, have expressed real concern. Like, they're asking lots of questions, and that's certainly something that Warren Snowden, who's the member for Lingiari, and myself are asking the government, is to ensure what kind of information is getting to the residents who live there, and there's quite a lot of people who live on Christmas Island, Carl.
There's not much you can do about it. If the federal government say they're coming, aren't they?
Well, that's right. They are coming. But I think, too, we still need to remember that the people on Christmas Island who live there are citizens of Australia, and they deserve to be treated with the respect and dignity of knowing what's actually happening. And I certainly will be encouraging the federal government to make sure that those conversations are happening with the people who always live on Christmas Island.
Were you spoken to about it? Did you hear about it before everyone else did?
No, like everyone else, we heard it through social media, on the news screens. It's not the best way, certainly when you're representatives federally for the members on Christmas Island. But we also have to remember, Carl, there's also a young family that's still waiting for their future with the Billawheeler family who are there. Just so many questions, and going back to Parliament next week, I'll certainly be asking a lot of those.
OK, we're just hearing some news now, Senator, that just trying to get it up, but the World Health Organisation has just declared an international emergency. So we'll try and get to the bottom of what that will mean in terms of ramifications for the world. But Sarah, it has been, well, in some ways poorly handled by the various governments. The miscommunication, the confusion among parents has been very present.
It has. I mean, the lack of consultation is really disturbing. I mean, obviously, families have come out and they have commended the government for acting so quickly and taking things so seriously, and for offering to evacuate affected citizens back home. But there's clearly been a terrible lack of consultation with the residents of Christmas Island, as we've just heard there, but also with these families. And a lot of them are really concerned about the medical facilities and the child-friendly facilities that are available on Christmas Island. As you were saying, Carl, a lot of families have said that they actually think they would prefer their children stay in Wuhan than be repatriated to Christmas Island. They also have to contribute towards the cost of the evacuation, as much as $1,000 per child.
Well, effectively, the federal government's saying, look, if you want to get out, we'll get you out, but it's not going to be pleasant and you're going to have to pay for it.
That's right, and I would also make the point that the Australian Medical Association have also said that they have some concerns, and that they feel that the children should be repatriated to the mainland Australia. So I think if the AMA is saying that clearly the government might need to rethink their decision.
Look, this is such a big story, and it's only going to get bigger. We will move on, but Peter Dutton is coming up after 7 o'clock. There's all sorts of ramifications for businesses and travel, and look, it's going to change the world a little bit. Moving on, it's a case of too little too late for many communities impacted by bushfires, but while the threat has subsided in many places for now, locals are still working at rebuilding their lives, and this morning there are new fears aid to fire-ravaged communities is taking far too long. Senator, we visited East Gippsland, Ali and I, the other day, and these people are just pleading for people to visit, but there are also communities that are crying out for money. Why hasn't the aid got through?
Well, good question, Carl, and you would have heard that firsthand from people there, those complaints. And I think that what we're seeing here in Australia, and in fact there's probably a crossover of all these issues, we're facing major crisis nationally and internationally, and the question is, how are we coping as a nation in trying to deal with all that? And for those people on the ground, those families who desperately need something right now, clearly there has to be something else going on, even if it's just a coordinator who's down there straight away trying to assist with the basic needs of food, of paying for fuel. How are things going with Centrelink in trying to get money that's required for people to get them back on their feet? Clearly there needs to be something right now happening for those people.
Okay, one final one on a much lighter note, because we do need to laugh on a Friday. This caught my attention, this story about this fella in the far north Queensland. I want everyone around Australia to take a look at this fella. We dug up this survey suggesting men from the top end are some of the finest in Australia, and you only have to look at Darwinite Reece Shearer to confirm these findings. Check it.
And of the countdown so far, and have been huge.
Okay, people.
The Mohawk mullet.
Oh, Sarah, lucky you're married.
Oh, I tell you what, I have just found the latest cover star of Stella magazine.
Yeah.
If anything says male model, that is it right there. Move
Stella,
over,
I think it's
Fabio.
Carl. I think it's Carl who wants to be looking like that. What do you reckon, Stella?
That's right,
yeah.
Carl. There's your
Just
inspiration for your weekend makeover right there.
That's right.
no, don't
it is
worry about
Friday
that.
after all.
Just magnificent looking human being. I can't wait to have a 4X gold with him. Hey, ladies, thank you so much for that. We appreciate it.
Absolute pleasure.
No worries.
Okay, still to come today, the contagion.